All right, folks. Here I am live. Today's another Saturday in the studio, Studio B. I am still working on the same quilt panel. It's almost done. The center was quilted and finished last Saturday or the Saturday before. I've been working on the background around the center, and it's coming out really cool. I'm learning a lot with this new pattern, this new technique, and it's about halfway done. And then I have this side panel part that I wasn't going to cut off, remember, and instead I'm going to do a different pattern than that's in this area. So that I'll collectively have 3 different patterns. That's it. So, what have you been up to this week? I had a full week. It was fantastic yesterday on Quilt Conversations Live to feature Jacqueline. Yay! Jacqueline shared her quilting journey, her machine quilting journey, how she got started. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. It's really a fabulous interview. It's well worth watching the entire thing because she gives a lot of great tips for jumping into machine quilting, specifically with free motion and ruler quilting. And then she talks about her specific desires and how she focused on learning those 2 techniques. But first, it was free motion. And I admire her. She is singularly focused on reaching very particular goals, and she will finish a quilt before she goes to the next one. And I think that was one of the key things because 1, she was determined, and then 2, because she was so focused and she would finish something, it increased her confidence. Plus, it also, in my opinion, when we do something from beginning to end, it's not, yes, it's important to finish, but it's everything that happens in the middle, the process. There's a lot of learning in the process. So I think that also contributed to her being able to quilt her own quilts with free motion and ruler quilting in 2 years. In 2 years, she was able to accomplish that goal. And now she finishes all her quilts. And she's now in the phase of what can I put in a quilt? How can I design? She's excited now. She's not fearful. She knows how to set up her machine. She knows about thread and needles, and she knows now how she can be creative with those 2 techniques. She's having a lot of fun now. So that's part of the journey. If we're willing to put in that initial work, we get to have fun. Get to have fun. And I like fun. Where's my, oh, it's over here. Can't see it. All right. Let's see. Let me take that off. I need to go past that. So I just go straight. What else have I been up to this week? Lots of computer work, getting ready for Jacqueline's premiere of her interview. It also includes a blog post. I'll put that in the description box below. But I do recommend just go watch the video. All the links are in there, but I'll put them here too. So there's not just a video interview. She did a Q&A, and that's on her student spotlight, and then there's a blog post. So there's 2 more things that you can learn about her. Through those 2 things, the blog post and the student spotlight. You get to see some of her photos of her quilts. Yeah, 1, 2. All right, is it time to shoot off? I think it is. It's time to shoot off. One thing I am learning with this new design is that you learn what works when you're experimenting, when you're improv ruler quilting, and you learn what doesn't work. And so I'm trying to repeat what does work. And I can't say enough how much I love this ruler with all the reference lines on the interior of the channel, because I can look at reference lines on this side or this side in relation to the needle to help me stitch what I want to stitch. I love having that option. All right. And then every time I rotate the ruler to stitch the next direction, especially if I want to keep everything lined up and not starting to drift on a different direction. Excuse me. Cover the microphone. I'm also using the reference lines to help everything stay straight. And I do that by looking at the reference lines on the ruler with what I've already stitched. So as I'm positioning this to stitch this direction, I'm going to check to make sure that it's going to be a horizontal line that's lining up with all the rest of the horizontal lines. So I'm checking that. And I'm also checking the vertical lines, the vertical and the horizontal. Yeah, so. I don't know why all of a sudden I got this tickle in my throat. Slow and steady wins. You know, there are times when I want to stitch a really fast, get it done pattern, and then there's other times when I don't mind stitching slower and learning and creating something new. And if you're new and you're wondering what are these arrows, these stickers, I place stickers on specific reference lines that are already on the ruler. They create a quick reference when I want to position the needle or stop at a certain place and I want to go a certain distance. So the red and the green are a certain distance apart, the blue are a certain distance apart, and it's all based on what I'm stitching. But I'm using those as well as reference lines that don't have a sticker. Okay, I want to go a little bit further. That's straight, that's straight. I have some fun stuff coming up in July. As you may or may not know, there's a virtual event coming up. I still need to prep for that. And there's another surprise thing happening which I can't share at the moment, but it's going to be a nice, fun thing for Christmas in July. Yeah, Christmas in July. I listened a little bit more to my audio book this week, and the title of that audio book, I mentioned it last week. I think I need to renew the book on the library app. Let's see. Yep, I need to renew it. Yes, I'm going to borrow it again right now. It's called Kingdom Woman by Tony Evans. Yeah, and you can download it to your device, which I like to do, so then I can listen to it on the car when I'm driving, say on a long trip or I'm waiting in traffic. I can just turn it on. All right, where am I at? Okay, I'm right there. Over here, I'm over there. Okay. That's good. I need to go a little bit down, a little bit more. Can't see. Okay, there. Now, there's an interesting thing that happens when you're using reference lines is that the lines can reflect and though cast a shadow, not reflect, but cast a shadow. And you think you're in the right position, but you're not. So sometimes I have to go 1 or 2 stitches more. All right. Went too far. And the other benefit of going at a slower pace as you're creating is, at least I think so, it works for me, is that I start to think about if there's another section of the quilt that hasn't been quilted, and initially I had an idea for it, I might change my mind and want to do something different. All right, I can't see it. There it is. Right there, right there. 1 stitch. I don't know. See, that was the case where I went too far, and I'm going to back it up. Even though it's going to give me extra stitches, I don't mind. It's blending thread. What else did I do this week? Did I have any meetings this week? Oh, I did have one, but I had to cancel it because I had a deadline on another project. And I am taking a couple of online classes. Business related online classes. It's always something I need to learn. Mhm. So not only am I looking at my reference lines for the ruler positioning, I'm also, like I mentioned, making sure that I'm remaining perpendicular or straight, right? But I'm also thinking about where this needle has to stop once it comes down here. And so sometimes you might see me slide the ruler once I have it in place and then realize I haven't positioned the reference lines that I need for the needle stop. So I need my needle to stop a certain distance from the previous stitching. So I need to make sure the reference line is where I need it to be. And so I'm using these blue arrows for that. So I know I want to stop on this blue arrow. So once that's in place, then I'll do a quick visual to make sure the ruler is straight, it's not off, and that my reference lines are where they need to be. It's basically like measure 3 times, I guess, and stitch once. And if I'm not paying attention to those multiple things, then incrementally the vertical line, this vertical line can start to drift and drift and drift, you know, millimeter, centimeter at a time, right? Mhm. There we go. I'm not going to stay on too long tonight. Um, just wanted to check in and let you see the progress of this quilt. It doesn't have a name yet. Oh, you know what else I wanted to share with you? Remember I always say practice, practice, practice. I practice a lot on smaller projects. And when I have a new tool like this one, I've got this tool arrived around October of last year before it went public, and I started testing it for its effectiveness. And then when the final one came, like in November, I started thinking about different things I was going to quilt with it, and specifically how to quilt with all 3 parts of it: this edge, the channel, and the wavy side, right? Right now I'm using the channel. Now, could I use the edge for this? I sure could. However, I am learning as a result of playing with her for the last 6 months or so that I'm loving the channel for more than stitching the ditch. So if you haven't seen any of my channel related designs here on the YouTube channel, go check it out. Just there's a playlist for the STITCHLINE Ruler. Lots of designs with the channel. And because it has all these reference lines in it, that means that we can do very specific things with it. So I'm learning to love this more and more. But I'm also playing with the wavy side. So one thing that I stitched with the wavy side, which I don't know if I shared this, I may have shared it briefly on Quilt Conversations Live, but I thought I'd share it tonight, is this tote. This is fabric that I designed. It's called the Love Fabric. Initially, I made a foundation paper pieced pattern of this design without the face. Now it has my beautiful sister on there, my sister Roberta. And I decided to remake that design in a design software with browns and then to put her face on it. And then this is what I got. And instead of ordering on Spoonflower, their cotton, petal quilting cotton, I think that's what it's called. I ordered the twill for a bag. So this is a heavy duty twill fabric. But of course, I had to stitch it with, of course, the STITCHLINE Ruler. Now I had the fabric for a while and I didn't know what I was going to do. And so then when it was time to start practicing, because I'm a double dipper, triple dipper, I like to accomplish multiple goals in one project. And so I wanted to make something with this, and I decided that I was going to make a tote. I made the tote, and I did a fun wavy design with it. And I really liked the design of it. It came out fantastic. And of course, I showed it to my sister and she says, "Oh, yes, I love it. Ship it to me right away." I said, "Oh, no, it's mine." She says, "Oh, it's perfect for my next cruise." I said, "Really? I bet it is." So anyway, I just love how it turned out. Now, of course, I don't make totes every day, and there's some things that I would improve on it the next time that I make one. Um, and I may or may not make her one. We'll see. But she just assumes that every time I make something and she wants it, she can have it, right? Last time we went on a cruise together was a couple years ago. We went to Hawaii, the three sisters, and it was the first time the three of us had ever taken a trip together without kids, without nephews, nieces, grandkids, and we had a great time. I purchased some over-the-shoulder crossbody bags that I embroidered with each of our names on it. And those bags were just the right size. And coincidentally, I found those bags on another cruise the same year. I just happened to be teaching on a cruise, and in the gift shop, I saw the bags. I said, "Oh, this would be perfect for our cruise to Hawaii." And I have a new embroidery machine. I'll embroider our names on it. And so now that has become her staple bag. And we got this beautiful, um, very warm, delicate, peachy pink color. It's kind of one of those neutral pinks, not as bright as this one. It's a lot softer and paler, more washed out, I guess. But it matched everything for all of us. No matter what we wore, it was just the right color. And she loves that bag. So she said, "I'll take the love bag and one more." Because I told her I had that same bag in black, but I only had two. I didn't have three of them. And she's like, "That's fine. You can just put my name on one and just mail it with the love bag." I was like, "Okay, sure thing, sis." Just putting in her orders. But I'm ready for another vacation, truly. I am ready for another vacation. I don't know where I'd like to go. Where would you like to go on vacation? Let me know in the chat if you're watching the replay, if you have any recommendations. Maybe something stateside, I was thinking. I don't know. I haven't been overseas in a while. Um, One of the things I've always wanted to do was do a train cross country, in one of those Amtrak trains that has the big glass window dome where you can see the beautiful countryside. That's what I'd love to see. That would be nice. But of course, I'd get a sleeper car, all of that. Have you ever taken or heard about the auto train that goes from Lorton, Virginia to Florida, about an hour from Orlando? I took it several years ago when my mom was living there, and I needed to transport her car down there, so I took the auto train instead of driving. Um, it's really a comfortable ride. It's not a cabin type thing. You can get a regular seat, but I opted for lower level. Now, if you're going to do it, the auto train is well worth it if you want to get to Florida. You say you're taking the family and you don't want the expense of flying and you don't want to be on the road for 24 hours. The auto train, I get the business class, lower level. And when you do the auto train, I think it's about 12, 16 hours. I forget how long it is. But it includes a meal. There's a dining car, and it's not cafeteria food. It's real food. It's good. And when I went, they would seat guests as they arrived. So I sat at a table with three other strangers, and we got to know each other and we found out what we each did, and it was very fascinating. I think one was a concert violinist, one was a real estate person. Yeah, it was really interesting. All right, where am I? I'm talking, but I don't know where I'm at here. All right, there, that's good. And I'm going straight up. Those who do those travel vlogs, I've seen some of those do a vlog on the Amtrak train where they try the really small cabin, they try the bigger cabin, the sleeper cars, and the really small one. I don't know. In one room, the bathroom is right next to the bed, the sink. It just doesn't seem sanitary to me. I would want it in a separate compartment. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't like that. Having the commode like right there in the room. Nah, not sanitary. So I wouldn't get that room. Mhm. All right, everything's lined up. I'm going straight up. So I don't know where that vacation is going to be, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Now, here is an interesting thing. When I go visit family, most often I'm just hanging out at their house. But when family comes to visit me, my desire is to entertain them. Now, granted, I'm close to Washington, D.C., and so if you're that close, you want to see those sites. And if they want to go, we go. But I also offer other things like Virginia Beach, Colonial Williamsburg, just several places that are optional. Like one year, my niece came with her husband, her family, and we went to the Luray Caverns. And that is fascinating to go deep into the earth, into these caverns. And it's not like it's around the corner, it's an hour to those caverns. But I wanted them to experience that. And so I was willing to not only pick them up at the airport, which was an hour away, take them to my place, then drive the next day a whole hour to the caverns because I want to be a good hostess. So sometimes I love visiting my family, but often they don't seem to take the time to say, "Hey, let's go do this or do that" when I come to visit. Yeah, doesn't happen. So I'm not thinking about visiting family because I don't want to spend my vacation time just sitting inside their living room day after day. I did that a couple years ago because I wanted to see them and spend time with them. So I was okay. But after the fourth day, I was one place for several days. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm not doing this again. All right, so now I'm have to make a decision. I have to make a decision. I'm repeating a certain part of the pattern where I do this offshoot right here, and then it creates these steps, right? And I usually do about 4 or 5 of them and then start another one. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be the fifth one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to do it on the fifth on that one. So I think it's time to do it again. And I guess as I get older, I think things change too. And I know my nieces and nephews and my siblings might have different expectations, about what we do, what we don't do. There we go. This is another reason why I like using the channel, because I can easily just maneuver the ruler into position without it being completely out of the line of stitching. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. All right, I see some of you are watching. You haven't commented or said hello, but I'm going to say hello to you. Welcome, welcome to the Living Water Quilter YouTube channel. I am Geraldine Wilkins. I am a quilting teacher and educator. I specialize in free motion quilting and acrylic ruler quilting. And I love sharing techniques so ladies can have more freedom when it comes to quilting their own projects. I like to teach at national shows, which I do. I have a show coming up next year. I'll be teaching at QuiltCon. I'll teach with the STITCHLINE Ruler, this ruler right here. We're going to learn some reflective echo quilting, and we're going to learn improv quilting. I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm going to give a lecture on improv quilting, not echo quilting, but improv. I've taught at Paducah. I've taught at QuiltCon a couple years back, twice, Atlanta and Phoenix. And this year I taught at Road to California. And that was my first time teaching at Road, and that was really a fun time. They were all on this machine, a sit-down Bernina long arm machine, Q20s and Q16s. The 20 means 20 inches from the needle to the back of the machine. and I taught 6 classes, and they were all full. We had a fabulous time, and what was great about that is that I had several pairs of sisters in those classes, and multiple classes. One pair of sisters, I think, took 4 classes with me, so we had a fun time. And it was a pleasure to get to know them and help them in their quilting journey. They both own a Q20, and so now they are more familiar with their machines. I look forward to hearing from them about how it's going for them now that they had several in-depth classes on free motion quilting and ruler quilting design and techniques. So that was really, really fun. I also teach virtual classes right here from my home. If you haven't been to my website, just go to machinequilting.live and you'll find under the top tabs, look for virtual events, and then there's a list of virtual classes. Basically, if you see a virtual class that you like, you're interested in, join the email list, and whatever email list you're on, when that class is open for enrollment, I send an email to everyone who signed up on that list to say, hey, this virtual class is coming on X date. And if you're interested, let me know. And I'd like to have no more than 10 people. That way, everyone gets a lot of time and access to ask questions. And it's 4 hours, it's usually on a Saturday. And yeah, it's lots of fun. Lots of fun. And like I mentioned earlier, if you weren't here, Jacqueline, who was featured in an interview yesterday for Quilt Conversations Live, she took a couple of those virtual classes with me. She took the feathers class and she took the snowflake a template class. Go watch her interview and she'll show you some of the designs that she learned, the feathers that she stitched in that virtual class and the ruler quilting she did in the virtual class. Okay. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I've been featured in multiple magazines like Quilt Folk. I am a pattern designer. I've been in Quilt Maker magazine and Fonz and Porter's Quick and Easy Quilts. Yep, you can go to both of there. Oh, is it Quilting Daily? I think quiltingdaily.com. You put in my name, Geraldine Wilkins, and you'll see some of my patterns come up. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. What time is it? Yep, about 40 minutes. Oh, I see some people are there. I'm learning how to ruler quilt on a little rebel. Yay! Awesome! That is fantastic. Nice to meet you. Let's see. Andrea Banks. Nice to meet you. And then there's Nikki Quilts. Hello from Missouri. Hi, Nikki. So glad that you ladies are here. Do you have any questions about anything? So, what kind of rulers are you using, Andrea? And I think the Little Rebel is it a sit down long arm or is it the Little Rebel on a frame? I don't have space for a frame, but if I did, I might be interested. But I have back issues. I had spinal surgery when I was a kid. So I have a rod in my back, and standing for a long time just doesn't work well for me. But there are benefits that I miss with having a long arm on a frame. Yeah. It's a different there's a lot of similarities with ruler quilting, I believe, because when I was teaching for um, Juki, I was a Juki educator for a number of years. And I would go to shows and teach on their sit down machine and on their frames and their sewing machines. And that's when I started to learn how to quilt on a frame. When I first started working with Chuki, I was with them for about 2 years. But now I'm a Bernina ambassador. I do teach on a Bernina machine, but not the frames. That's not my expertise. I don't think it'd be good for me to go into a classroom like that, not having any experience with it. Little Rebel is a big domestic machine. Ah, okay. Circle rulers and some other rulers, the Angela Walter rulers. Okay, I think I've heard of it. Is it like 11 inches long throat, and then it has a very high space between the bottom of the machine and the top? I think I've seen those Little Rebels. Do you like it? Do you like it? And I also think it's semi-industrial. Is it a semi-industrial machine? It sounds very similar to the Juki that's very popular with quilters, the TL 2010 or the TL 2000. Those are just strictly straight stitch machines, no zigzag. Is the Rebel like that? No zigzag, just straight stitch for piecing and quilting? Okay. Mhm. Ah, yes. For free motion, I bet it's a great machine for free motion. Those straight stitch machines, if you like to quilt your own quilts, having one of those machines like the Little Rebel for straight stitch for free motion, it probably makes beautiful stitches, doesn't it? I've seen that and the reason for that, not that a machine with a zigzag can't give a beautiful stitch, because I have a Genome that I like a lot. I've had it for more than 20 years, and it just transformed my free motion quilting. But those machines that have just a straight stitch, no zigzag capability, and they're semi-industrial, they make such a beautiful stitch. Oh boy, I love it. I love it. There was one Juki that I really wanted. I coveted that machine when I was a Juki educator. They took one of their industrial machines and they made it into a quilting machine. The industrial machines stitch very fast, so they reduced the stitching speed. They created a beautiful table for it, and I'm like, oh, the stitching was just beautiful. But I didn't have space. I had to give up something to get that one in the house. Yeah. And then even I had to give up like two things to get that machine. But then I weighed, well, do you really want that machine, or do you want something with a longer throat? And so, yeah, when I became a Bernina ambassador, it was kind of a no-brainer. All right. That goes there. I got a couple more stitches. Well, ladies, I think that's going to be it for me for this evening with you. I look forward to chatting with you some more. Again, if you haven't already, check out Jacqueline's interview. It was really good. Um, watch the replay from yesterday's Quilt Conversations Live. And if you're new to that, that happens on the third Friday of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Living Water YouTube channel, Living Water Quilter YouTube channel. And for the next several months, I'm going to interview different people. So I had Jacqueline, who's one of my students. Next month, I'm going to feature another student who's an amazing quilter. She has grown exponentially in the last couple of years. I can't wait to share her next month. And then that's in July. And then August, I'm going to have a special guest who is not one of my students. She's someone in the industry that has an amazing eye for fabric. And so she's coming. Then I have 2 more people lined up for October and November. So just come. If you aren't a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can be reminded. And then the other option is just go to my website, machinequilting.live, and sign up for the email list. Oh, and before I forget, I almost forgot. Let me see. I think I still have photos. I'm teaching a virtual event next month. It's called Patchwork Power. Patchwork Power is a virtual event with 10 expert instructors. Each of these instructors are amazing quilters. They are going to teach for 1 hour each, and they're going to give you tips and techniques, and you get all of that for one entry fee. And there's a replay. So I'm one of the instructors. I'm going to teach about improv ruler quilting, and I can't wait to share that with you. And save $20 by putting in PP26 Geraldine. Let me get, oh, great, you subscribed. Awesome. Great. I'm so glad. Fantastic. Oh, there goes Kathy. Hi, Kathy. How are you? I went to your channel 906 Quilting today because I felt bad. I couldn't remember your name. And so I said, let me go to her channel and check her out. And I subscribe to your channel. Ladies, if you don't know Kathy, she also teaches ruler quilting. Go check her out. She also teaches quilting in general, piecing, tips, and stuff like that. So go check her out. Let's see. Awesome. I'm so glad. So I'm looking forward to this CT Publishing event. If you're not aware of CT Publishing, they're a major publisher for the craft and quilting world. And she, I should say, they offer virtual events multiple times a year. And this one is being held on Zoom. And they do breakout rooms. And so you decide which breakout room you want to be in for which teachers. They do 3 teachers every hour. So it's over multiple hours in one day. Now, don't worry about that because remember, replay. Even if you don't watch that instructor live because you want to watch someone else live, you get all of the instructors for the entire event in the replay. So you get to watch it over and over again. So yeah, come for that. It's going to be a great time. And, if you can't be there live, don't worry about it, right? Because you can watch the replay. And they also have what they call a digital grab bag. And in that digital bag, it's swag bag, not grab bag, swag bag, are extras that you get from all the instructors. Each instructor either gives you some kind of freebie or some discount or something, some pattern for free for just coming. So it's well worth it. Oh, so you were at your grandson's game. Wonderful. It's nice to watch the grandkids in their sports. I'm sure you had a great time. Yes, Kathy. Thank you. Awesome. All right. Well, I think that's it for me for tonight. I think I did a little bit. I'm almost done. I think by the time we get together, I won't be here next Saturday. I'm here normally on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The 4th Saturday is my home Bible study fellowship. So I won't be here on the 4th Saturday of the month because I'll be over there. So I'll see you on the first Saturday, which is when? Let's see. Let me look at the calendar. Oh, maybe not. Well, the first Saturday is July 4th. If I don't have plans on July 4th, I'll be here. So far, I don't. But many of you may be at cookouts and picnics and other activities. Don't worry about it. I'll still record it if I don't have plans, and you can just watch the replay. How's that? All right. So, all right then. Have a wonderful weekend. See you next time.